What's up guys, it's Missy. I am back with another SimCity Buildit video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Missy's Platinum Guide entering into the contest of mayors. So the reason that I'm doing this video is because I'm getting a lot of questions involving the same few things, and so I wanted to go ahead and kind of group everything together and talk to you guys about some of these really common questions. Those questions include, when do I enter into Mega? What should I have prepared when I go into Mega, which I do have a video about that. And then there's been a lot of questions on, when is it okay to go from level 18 to 24 with the Missy's Building Guide? Because the original Missy's Building Guide, I had it set to where you guys would be level 18, and then from like 18 to 20, you would need 350 storage, and then you would go up to level 24. You would work your way up the leaderboards at that point, because you would be entering into the contest of mayors at level 18, okay? But here's the thing, with the new game changes, you guys are unlocking the contest of mayors at level 11, and that is why I made these changes to the Missy's Building Guide, the Platinum Guide, and I thought that I was clear about, how your leveling was going to be, but a lot of people are still confused and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and update the written guide later on today, and I'll put it in like big bold letters, what I'm about to tell you guys. But basically, here's what you're going to do. This is the change that was put in. You guys, when you get to the point where a lot of you guys are probably watching the walkthrough city, I apologize, you guys, I've been super sick this week, so I just haven't been able to get things done. But level or part 9 of the walkthrough city, we're right at the point where we've hit level 18. So what you guys are going to do is you guys are going to speed level your cities. You're going to start at level 1 and you're going to bring it up to level 18, building only regular residential homes. Once you hit level 18, you're going to focus on, you're going to be at somewhere near, probably, depending on how quick you're speed leveling, how much you're playing, you could be anywhere from the bottom league to, 2 leagues up. But either way, what you're going to do between levels 18 and 24, you're going to go from the bottom league all the way up to Mega, okay? Once you enter into the Mega League, you need to be level 24 regardless of how much storage you have, okay? The reason for this is because you enter into the Mega League and you are going to see, you're going to see a lot of tasks like, epic projects, expand beach, expand mountain, all those types of things, and you need to be able to do those all accordingly. But here's the problem, those tasks are limited, okay? You only have so many beach things that you can unlock, you only have so many mountain and stuff like that. And so what you don't want to do is you don't want to burn those up in the lower leagues, but you don't want to burn those up in the Mega League if you don't have a shot at winning. So it's really important that your first week in Mega, if you feel that you are well educated enough to give it your all and actually win, then I highly recommend that you go for it and do the absolute best that you can, which is why you need to practice so much in those lower leagues. Don't wait until you get to Mega to start practicing making right decisions. You should have been practicing all along, but what I mean by that is looking at your list and assessing it as if you were in Mega, but playing like you're not in Mega, because you can't afford to play like you're in Mega in the lower leagues. It would eat up all your cash. But you should have really educated yourself between now and then. The hardest part about this is going to be educating yourself on how to manipulate the algorithm of your tasks, okay? So a lot of people, the next question I've been getting a lot is, that you are going to be getting tasks for upgrades, like upgrading homes, Paris and London and things like that. Here's the thing. With that, you're not going to be doing upgrades. You can't. You're camping, right? So if you want to win Mega at a level 24, you need to do it without doing upgrades. Now, you may have a little bit of room with your bar at 24. Like, let's say you're level 24 and you have the full experience bar left. and you get, let's say, a regular residential upgrade for 2,400. I would absolutely do it if you're in Mega, and if it's level if it's worth 2,400 points. Even if it's worth 1,600 points, I would do it if it's the time to do it. You know, saying that that's the right time, but keep that in mind. Don't let a regular residential at 2,400 points sit if you have enough room in your experience bar to do it. But do not do any of the Paris, the Tokyo, the Latin, all of those, no. Okay, and you guys should know this if you've been watching my Contest of Mayors videos. You should have a really good idea. Some of the really important videos that you're going to want to watch are going to be like 8 stages of calm, reverse rotation, task assessment. You need to be able to do all of those things. Okay, now you guys, this is a lot of information to take in. I highly recommend taking notes, and absolutely pick up the quick guide. Okay, that's on our Facebook page. If you type in SimCity Buildit MissyAnne, it's also in the description of all of the videos. So if you click on that, you will see there is a description below each task that you'll be given. And you just have to kind of do a process of elimination. Now, I have somebody in my group who is entering into Mega this week. So actually, I have a couple people that are entering into Mega this week that are either in my club or on Facebook or whatever. The very first thing that you need to know about Mega is that, first off, it depends on your club and how your war schedule is. Because you need to be able to do, realistically, you need to be able to do any task that comes across your plate, okay? And if you are in a situation where you're in a club that doesn't do war, you're going to be in big trouble, because about 30% of your premiums, your good tasks, are going to be war related somehow. Now, you may be able to kind of skate by with a couple of them if the monster happens to be there. You know, you can do those war deliveries and whatnot. But realistically, you need to be able to be in a club that does war. Now, what we do is we start war 12 hours before comm starts. This allows people to get all their stuff prepared, and then that way, the moment that the Contest of Mayors begins, everybody can get a nice good start, and they can attack if they need to. They don't have to worry about, oh, well, the attack phase doesn't start for another 12 hours and then not get a good, you know, head start. So we do that. We start 12 hours before the contest, and then what I always tell people is you need to get as much done as you can, as quickly as you can, while making the right decisions. As long as you're making the right choices, you need to go as fast as possible. Okay? Don't go so fast that you make bad choices, but you need to go quickly. If you, let's say you have a Paris flight that's going to be coming in 2.5 hours or something, don't dink around and wait for 2 hours. Just pay the damn cash and get it done. Okay? Because what's going to happen is you're on a war timer. You know, you have a certain amount of downtime between wars. You have time that you're allowed to actually attack and things like that. And so all of those little chunks, they add up. You're going to have problems if you don't multitask, if you don't prep, if you don't have enough shop slots unlocked. You need to basically have a nice steady pace that you're working, okay? So here's the thing. A lot of people, their first week, they go really, really, really slow. They will be like looking at their list going, okay, now I guess I'll work on this and then I'll get that done. And what should take them like 30 minutes takes them 4 or 5 hours. And I'm like, what are you doing? What's going on? Like, you were just supposed to do those flights. What happened? And they're like, oh, I'm working on it. I have to collect these materials and make this and make corn and da-da-da-da. No. You need to be well prepped. You need to have a nice rounded inventory. Okay. You need to have planks and shovels and hammers, and you need to have a good stock. You need to make sure that you have a lot of VU. You need to make sure that you are just ready for anything, basically. And a lot of you guys, if you haven't been able to unlock all of your land That's going to be a big thing, okay? Try to get that land unlocked as quickly as possible because, man, that shit's terrible. Don't worry about prepping for beach or mountain, okay? You don't need to hold a bunch of beach or mountain because those will just clog up your storage and they're super easy to find. Now, leave any uncollected rewards in your passes so that you can put those towards certain tasks. And you're not going to be doing the coins task very much. That's like a last option rotatable, or it's usually done, when value trumps opportunity, which would be second part of rotation. If you don't know what that means, then you need to go and watch the operations of rotation. So basically, or rules of rotation is what I called it. So essentially, you guys just pay very close attention. Basically, what you're going to do is, like, let's say that I had a launch 3 VU, okay? I'm going to go launch once, twice, 3 times as quickly as possible, get it done. Then I'm going to look at my list. I'm going to go and say, okay, this is my next task, getting it done. I'm going to be on it, on it, on it. I mean, I'm talking like get the shit done. Don't just be like, oh, I'm just going to mosey here and maybe do a little of this and a little of that. No. And then what else you need to be doing is if you have any downtime, okay, let's say you have a little bit of time, you have to wait on some kind of a production or something. Like, let's say that you are prepping your shops. You need to have all of your shops need to have 10 items ready for pickup and 1 item producing at all times. Okay, try to make it to where every shop, usually besides like the hardware store may be your shop that you start off, you're rotating. So what I mean by that is, let's say you have all of your shops prepped, okay? You have to start somewhere in order to cycle through them to drop down an item. So either you have to have a full inventory to do that, or you would have to say, okay, I'm going to clear out this shop because it is the quickest making shop, and then use these arrows to cycle through. So I'd say, okay, I want to make sure I have, let's say, 11 melons if I get a melon production. I would collect 1, I would start here, I'd travel over here, and then I would drop down the 1 melon, okay? That would allow me to have 10 done at all times and 1 making so that I'm not losing out on any kind of profits or just having my shops idle. Now, this is super, super important. It's going to save you guys a lot of time, but also remember that you need to prep the right items. So at the beginning, you should be prepping feed for your factories. You should prep, if you're doing your garden store, prep saps. Don't prep grass. Grass is so much faster than saps. Try to prep the more longer items, or the ones that you feel like you would get a task for. If you normally get a task for cheese or something, and you've never had a task for, let's say, corn, then, probably prep something that you feel you're going to get a task for. And that way, if you get that task, you can do it. Okay? Now, let's say that you get a cheese task that it's only 6 cheese or 5 cheese. That very well could need to be rotated. But let's say that you have melons prepped. Well, you could leave the melons prepped, or what you could do, depending on the situation and how long it would take to make the item, you would pick up 1 melon and you would drop down 1 cheese. Okay, and then you would slowly rotate one out for the other. That way, if you ended up getting a task for melons in the meantime, you didn't just waste all that time and clear it all out at once. So a lot of times what people will do is, let's say they had a 2,000 brick task or something. Let's say that they were going to do the bricks, and they got, let's say, a task for paint, and it was like 2,700. Not that they go that high, but let's just say they did. Then they would say, okay, paint is the next choice, right? So you would not do the bricks first just because they're done. You would do what's correct. And the reason for this is because the way that the game is going to spit out your tasks, you have to do the right thing at the right time. You don't do what's convenient. You do what's right, okay? So if that's what the correct choice is, then that's what you go with. Now, if it's like literally like 30 points difference, then that would be foolish, right? But we're talking big gaps like that, even a couple hundred points, that could mean winning or losing. 30 points, I probably would say, yeah, just go ahead and do it. But you got to be real careful when you cut corners, because the guy above you, he didn't cut any. You know, you want to win, right? So you want to make sure you're doing everything right. So when it comes to shop slots, let's say that you're limited on cash. What you need to do is try to have as many shop slots as possible unlocked before you get to Mega. Now, the shops that are going to be the most important are going to be the barn, the donut shop, the building supply store, and your furniture store. Those four, okay? I would start with the barn and the barn and the building supplies. Then go to the donuts. And I mean, I would try, okay, so how do I explain this? Let's say you're limited on cash. Try to max out the barn first, at least get that one done, and the building supplies store. You can probably get away with having like 8 or 9 of the others, you know, for your first week in Mega until you can win some more cash. Because you can use tokens, right? So you have to think, like, if you were to want to prep, right? If you were to prep, let's say, the building supply store, those items take much longer than, let's say, the hardware store. The hammers don't take very long. So this shop is probably the least important in terms of the contest of mayors, because of the fact that you can speed this shop up, you know, rather quickly, and things don't take very long, right? Same with the garden store. The only things that you guys are going to have unlocked are going to be lawn chair, saps, and grass. Okay, once you hit Mega. And so, I don't remember what, I think you guys have lawn chairs unlocked at level 24. I'm pretty sure you do. But point being that just go with the flow. You need to have about 300 cash before you go into Mega. You need to get your airport unlocked, and you need to have your cargo shipping dock unlocked. Preferably be about level 7 or 8 of the VU tower. And then make sure that you guys try to boost your pop-up to the point where you have Tokyo unlocked. You need to get that done. And then make sure that you go through and check, you know, your airport timers and all that good stuff to get those set up. So, you know, you guys, like I said, I do have videos that talks about, you know, like what you need to have done before you enter into Mega, and realistically, like what it takes to do it. But I just wanted to clear up some of these, you know, questions that you guys have been asking me. So again, do not worry about your storage. If you are, you know, between levels 18 and 24, the most important thing is that you're doing the right thing at the right time. Most of your progress is going to be made through comm. Okay, that's how you're going to earn your cash, that's how you're going to earn your platinum keys, and that's how you're going to progress. That's how you're going to be able to afford your maxis and be able to buy cool buildings and be able to do design. Like, that's what matters. Comm is what matters most. Okay, now in order to be successful with comm and epics and things of that nature, then you need to have a good amount of storage capacity. Now, the best way to get that is to be successful in the contest, because you're going to be winning, you're going to be getting group chests, you're going to be doing, you know, your mayor's pass, you're going to get rewards there, and just overall, it's a much funner gameplay when you're being successful, right? When you're accomplishing things. So I can't tell you how many people come to me and say, look, I was ready to toss this game in the trash. Like, I was that fed up. I was level 30 or 40. I had like 100 space or less, and I was miserable. I couldn't get anything done. And you know what? It's absolutely miserable. But if you play right at the right time and do things correctly, it can be fun, you know, because you're doing things right and you're making progress, and it's not to the point where you're like cheating fun. You know, a lot of people just say, oh, just hack the game. Well, that's not really exactly self-fulfilling, is it? You know, just to cheat and say, oh, woohoo, I cheated and I have everything. Like, I mean, that kind of takes out the challenge and the fun of the game. And so the fact that you can do this good while playing legitimately, I mean, it's really actually quite impressive that you can do this good playing legitimately. So, you know, just don't be the person that screws up the first time around and then screws up the second time around. And a lot of people think that the only way that they can screw up is to level too quickly. And that is not the only way you can screw up your game, okay? You can screw up your game plenty of ways. And one of those ways is not leveling up when you need to. So many people remain level 10 or 11 for way too long, way too damn long. They end up really, really hurting their gameplay, and they spend like 8 or 9 months hunting storage rares with feeders, and then they be like level 11 with max storage, and then they go up and they try to do all these things that their city's just simply not prepared for. I mean, yeah, okay, cool, they have max storage, but they could have had that and all this other stuff but in half the time had they done it right. You know what I'm saying? So, would you rather have this list of things accomplished in 4 to 5 months' time, or would you rather have one thing accomplished in 8 months' time? That doesn't make sense, does it? No, it doesn't. But people, they hear things like, you leveled too fast, and then they just think that that's the only way to be successful, is to focus on not leveling too quickly. No, it's not about being level 10. And it's not about, you know, what level you are so much as it is what you have accomplished at what time. Okay, so technically, the best level right now is level 24. Because if you really analyze all aspects of the game, that is where you're going to accomplish the most. You're going to be able to do epic projects for cheap. The cheapest you can do an epic project for is going to be at level 24. It's when you unlock them. Okay, so you can't do them any lower of a level. So that's the cheapest they can be. The best you're going to do in COM, at the lowest level you can be and have gold tokens unlocked, is level 24. You're going to be able to join a group. Okay, you're going to be able to participate in war. You should have well over, you know, 50 or 60 residentials that are fully upgraded and converted into gold epics, which would at a maximum they can cost as 20, which would be 3 gold tokens a day. You're going to have a nice, well-rounded inventory, you know, for the global market. So you're not going to be limited to no depots, whereas like level 10, you're lucky to see 3 or 4 boxes in the market, and then when you do, usually the stuff's purchased by the time you get there. So you're actually going to have a better time at finding rares at level 24 because you have more depots to access, but not too many to the point where they're causing you to, you know, not find anything. You should still have video ads, which they do not stop because of in-game purchase. I have that on camera proving that. If anybody wanted to check that out. So there's a lot of benefits to being level 24. Okay? You're not going to have too many items unlocked to the point where you're overwhelmed. And so it just doesn't make sense to be level 10. Being level 10 and not being able to, you know, accomplish anything, really. You're not able to get those production tasks done on time. There's a lot of things you're not able to do. And being level 24 allows you to buy your maxuses. It allows you to unlock your mountain. It allows you to unlock certain features of the game. And so it's just all around better, okay? But it's not to the point where you're level 25 where you've already unlocked like ice cream and regionals, which even if you were level 25, do not unlock a regional. Oh my god. That'll be the death of you. Okay, you guys. So, I'm going to go ahead and get this uploaded. I hope that this answers some of your guys' questions. If anybody has any questions at all, please feel free. You could reach out to me. You can hit me up on YouTube and ask questions. You can hit me up on Facebook. The thing here is, though, you guys, we are full right now, but at any time we could have a slot open. So if you do want in, You need to come to me and say, hey, look, this is my city, this is what I got going on, and I'll put you, you know, I'll keep you in mind. And the way our wait list is it's not first come, first serve. It's who I like that I feel would fit in really well. If you come to me and say, hey, I'm level 50 and my city has 100 space, I'm going to be like, not the group for you. But if you come to me and you say, hey, look, I'm level 24, I've been following your guide, my city's successful, and I want a good team to, communicate with and be strategic and all that, then I'll be like, cool, awesome, watch the group rules video, we'll get you in. That kind of thing. But so many people come to me and they're like, hey, I watched your videos and all that, and then they get into the group and they simply aren't cut out for it. They're like, well, see you guys tonight. They pop on once a day, talk about, how they've got kids and work and things like that, and then they're just gone all day. And it's like, look, man, we all have lives, but we're also here to play a game. So it's just a game. We have kids, we have lives, da 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 da. Okay, fine. That's fine for any other group, but we are very specific with the type of players that we are looking for. So if you are somebody who doesn't have time to play regularly, if you're a student, I don't recommend our club. I'm not saying you got to be on all day, not at all. All I'm saying is you got to be doing something. You got to be being successful. You have to follow the rules. And the rules are pretty simple if you have a brain, anyway. But really, it really comes down to being a good teammate and just being successful and being helpful and things like that. So a lot of people, they don't make it here because what they do is they come in and they think that it's more about just building friendships. And a lot of us are pretty good friends, actually. We have a chat that we do on Facebook. It's a group chat. We're in Messenger where we're all in, and there's been a couple of us have gotten pretty close. But what we all operate the group in a specific way, right? And so when you see like somebody come in and they're not following the rules and they're wreaking havoc and they're causing drama, they don't last long. If you're gonna break the rules, you're gonna be reminded. And then that's it. They're not hard rules. They're way too easy to be broken. So if I've asked you to watch the club, rules video, please pay attention to it. I don't like it when people say, oh yeah, I've watched the video, and one of the main rules is to always say how many, and then they come in and they're like, can I get a handful of textiles, please? What the hell? Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Jesus. Okay, so that was my rant for the morning. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to try to get this walkthrough done. I've got some of it done yesterday, so I'm going to try to get that up today. And I will see you guys around. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys are on my Facebook page. You guys, again, if you're sending me friend requests, I have to know who you are before I accept you. And not only that, but a lot of you guys have been purchasing for my depot, which I can't have that because that's for group members. So if you do need something for my depot, just send me a message on Facebook and I'll let you know if you can purchase it or not. Otherwise, then I'll have to unfriend you, and I don't want to do that. So just be respectful and realize that those items are not posted for people on my friends list. They're posted for people in my group. And so when I tell somebody in my group, like, hey, that item's going to be there and it's not there, it's a problem. It's a major problem. So, all right, you guys, good luck. Oh, and if anybody won Mega, you guys can always post it to the page. A lot of people do that. They'll say, hey, thank you, Missy, or your guide works or whatever, and they post their winnings. You're more than welcome to do that. If you guys want to do that, you just have to type in SimCity Buildit MissyAnneYT, and you will see, you'll see all the posts from people and whatnot.